afternoon, everyone. I, Mudita Raj, Assistant Professor, Delhi Metropolitan Education, welcome you all to the 32nd episode of the Vibrant India series. I also welcome all our viewers who are watching us live on Facebook. Vibrant India series, VIS, is an initiative of DME Media School for celebrating 75 years of India's independence. This series will be a year-long exercise. As a part of this series, we invite inspiring personalities for online talk, interview, and interaction with our students. The invited personalities for this series are from all walks of life and all parts of the country. And today, our special guest is Mr. Balendu Sharma Dadhich, Director, Local Languages and Accessibility, Microsoft India, author, communicator, and speaker. I would like to take a moment and introduce Delhi Metropolitan Education to all our viewers. Delhi Metropolitan Education, DME, is an A-grade premier educational institute affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, New Delhi, and approved by the Bar Council of India. The institute offers BBA, BA-LLB, and BBA-LLB with BCI approvals and BA-JMC programs. DME believes in imparting world-class education to its students while training them to develop and enhance their skills. This education and training enables them in taking up challenges of the industry and creating a space for themselves with their competence and vigor. DME Media School is one of the most promising media institutes of the country. It offers BA in journalism and mass communication. It is recognized as a school focused on the growth of its faculty and students through academic and co-curricular activities. Major flagship events and initiatives of the school include the BG Varghese Guest Lecture Series, Peer-to-Peer FTP, International Film Festival SIFI, International Conference ICANN, and Ritika, Convention of Media Students. And newly added in this list is the VIS, the Vibrant India series. It is our privilege to introduce you to our guest, the personality of the 32nd episode of VIS. I request Shiksha, student, DME Media School, to introduce our guest of the day. Over to you, Shiksha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Mr. Balendu Sharma Dadhich is a nationally awarded senior technology professional, author, and speaker who is working to leverage digital technologies for social goods, enhance the quality of the common man's life, and foster true and holistic digital transformation. A technologist marketer at work and a social activist by heart, he leads the localization and accessibility charters for Microsoft India. He is recipient of Atmaram Award given at hands of President of India. In all, he has been bestowed upon 20 plus awards, including those from the central and state governments in India, global organizations, global tech companies, and local bodies. He is a Microsoft spokesperson on Indian language and technologies. As Director, Local Language and Accessibility, he drives the Indic localization of Microsoft products and services and helps organizations and local language users to leverage Microsoft work in their own productivity and development ecosystems. He is making dedicated efforts toward popularizing Indic technologies through training and skilling activities, conferences and workshops, content development, marketing campaigns, newspaper articles, and advocacy activities. He has developed many Indian language software and made them available to common users for free. Some of his work can be downloaded from this website. He has also developed and managed Indian language news portals, attracting almost 1 million daily views. As a champion of accessibility, Sir promotes inclusion across culture, products, and ecosystem in organization and society. Expectedly, his books focuses issues related with Indian language and accessible technologies. Among the 5 Hindi books authored by him, Takniki Suljane, Demystifying Technology, and Divyango Ke Liye Takneek, Technology for People with Disabilities are quite popular. I now request the technical team to show some glimpse of his life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining us today. It is indeed an honor to host you. I now request Professor Dr. Susmita Bala, Head, DME Media School, to please welcome the guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mudita. Vibrant India series is a tribute to all those people who made supreme sacrifices for the independence of our motherland. India will be completing 75 years of independence this year. We started celebration last year only. This program has been completing 75 years. In the first episode of Vibrant India series, our guest was Brigadier P.K. Saxena, who served the country in 2 wars. Following this, Madam Bhavin Kandhari, a known environment activist, Professor Ujjwal K. Chaudhary, senior media educator and column writer, Dr. Nakul Parashar, science communicator and director of Vigyan Prasad, Dr. Munisha Behel, social activist from the Northeast, Mr. Rajesh Badal, senior journalist, writer and filmmaker, Colonel R.K. Durgan, professor and advisor at MET School of Communication, MET University, Noida, graced this program. To name the other celebrated personalities in this series, Madam Tripti S. Chingal, an entrepreneur and startup consultant, Captain Dharmveer Singh, a versatile personality and an army man, Madam Jyotika Kalra, member of National Human Rights Commission, Mr. Sanjay Banerjee, a sports journalist, broadcaster and commentator, Mr. Augustine Vellet, communication specialist with UNICEF, Captain Indrani Singh, a pilot and entrepreneur, Ms. Vibha Lakhira, a social activist, Mr. Arvind Gaur, a theatre personality, Dr. Sachidanand Joshi, a writer and educational administrator, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni from the Indian Army, Dr. Gurmeet Singh, author and global Hindi educator, and squadron leader Prerna Chaturvedi, a veteran of Indian Air Force, were our guest. Since the beginning of 2022, Mr. Shambhunath Shukla, senior journalist, column writer and author, Mr. Lakshmi Shankar Bajpayee, an eminent poet, commentator and broadcaster, Sufi Sayyid Azmal Nizami, custodian of Sufi Dargah Nizamuddin Aulia, Dr. Dev Aitet, media educator from the University of North Carolina in the US, Ms. Palvi Fosgard, an adventure motorcyclist and social worker, Mr. S.P. Rawal, an entrepreneur, author, Dr. Mridula Tandon, doctor, social worker, and entrepreneur, Mr. Virendra Kumar Gaur, retired Inspector General of BSF and author, and Mr. Ashok Pradhan, bureaucrat, educationalist, and social worker, have graced the Vibrant India series. In last episode, Dr. Madhula said, a mental health advocate, social activist, author, and researcher was in this episode, VIS. In the making of this country, we all play our roles as a soldier, doctor, engineer, as an educator, journalist, lawyer, advocate, environment activist, social worker, science communicator, filmmaker, as a human rights protector, a sports person, literary person, theater artist, mental health advocate, and today with us in 32 episode, we have an inspiring personality with us, Mr. Balendu Sharma Dadhich. So welcome you, sir. He is an entrepreneur, digital media expert, and an advocate of Hindi and other languages. Welcome you, sir. और मैं यहाँ ये कहना चाहूंगी कि वाकई में अगर आप हिंदी को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, क्योंकि भारतीय भाषाओं और हिंदी को अमूमन उतनी तरजीह नहीं दी जाती है, या यूनिवर्सिटी सिलेबस से भी हटा दिया जाता है, तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप इन विषयों पर बात करें. सो थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll now request Professor Dr. Amrit Saxena, Dean DME Media School and originator and ideator of the Vibrant India series, to please address the gathering and take the program forward. Over to you, sir.
So it's an honor for us that today we have such a distinguished personality with us, Dr. Balendu Sharma Dadhich, because I have the privilege to listen him more than once. And I know the expertise that he has. And the last time I listened to you, Balenduji, about 8 to 10 years back. And for me also, and for many more people of my age, we all feel that digital technology is such which is difficult to learn and to handle. Though over the years we have learned a lot. बट जितनी आसानी से आपने चीज़ों को बताया था वो मुझे आज भी याद है. तो वो उस दिन से मैं आपकी इस प्रतिभा का कायल था कि एक मुश्किल विषय को भी कितनी आसानी से समझाया जा सकता है. So I had in my mind since long that I will invite you someday in some program. But somehow this series I conceived and started wherein I'm trying to reach out to such people who are really doing something good, something substantial for the country, for the society, and which has made a mark. So that is how I approached you. And I'm pretty sure that whatever you are going to tell us, that will be for use to everybody, to all the teachers, all the students. And particularly this series is all about the inspirational personalities with whom we can learn something. So you are one person that you are an inspiration to everybody, to so many people who think something good about India and about Indian languages and Hindi, and also who want to understand more and more about technology and how technology can be used for the betterment of the society. So without not wasting much time, I will stop here and I will request you to tell us all about your journey, because it's the whole concept is such, because we know that what all work you are doing, but then if it is coming from the horse's mouth and from your journey, if you're telling yourself with some of your experiences, your anecdotes, your important moments in life and the challenges that you faced, which can give us some inspiration as to if there are certain challenges, how to meet those challenges. So that's the whole idea behind. And after you finish your talk, then I will be putting up some questions which will be related to whatever you have told us in this session. And then the house will be open to the students and they will be asking their queries to you. So Dr. Balendu Sharma, now the house is yours. Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much, Dr. Ambrish Saxena, Dr. Sushmita Bala, Mudita ji, Shiksha ji, Pramod Pandey ji, and everyone else who is present in this session today. It's a great honor, personal honor for me to be here with all of you, especially the students, because that is the generation with whom people like me, we want to connect with. We want to share our experiences with, and we want to energize them. We also instill hope and confidence among them that you can do, if you can dream something, you can actually do it. So I'm very happy to be here on this August platform, and thanks a lot for inviting me here.
Thank you.
And you are an old friend, and we are already connected for so many years. So that also gives me another reason for an absolute delight that we are again together. Thank you so much, sir. So already Sushmita madam and Ambrish ji, you have already raised a few points regarding the use of technology in social life. How can technology be a vehicle for social change? And I think that sums up my work in Microsoft as well as in personal capacity. Because I believe that everybody, everybody, irrespective of the role that he is in, irrespective of the area in which he is active, they can still contribute to the society. And there are immense possibilities. We only have to look out for those possibilities which are available in abundance. But only thing is that we are probably not, focused towards that. We are very busy in our day-to-day lives and looking for new growth avenues, etc. So that's why that part is generally what is missed from, our lives or our daily life, at least. But that opportunity is available to everyone. And I'm very happy to say that, yes, I could find that opportunity. I could locate that opportunity that if I go into technology, since I come from a very local language background, बिल्कुल हिंदी का ऐसी पृष्ठभूमि से मैं आता हूँ जहाँ पर हम लोग राजस्थानी हमारी मातृभाषा है. मैं जयपुर के पास का रहने वाला हूँ, and you will be surprised to know, I don't know whether you will get surprised or not, but I come from a very small village which has less than 10,000 people living in it. So very small village. We had only a school up to middle school. So only 8th class. Till 8th class, I had my education at my village, and after that, I had to travel to nearby villages and then to nearby towns and then to the capital city Jaipur and then to Delhi. So it has been a very, very challenging journey for me personally, and but I'm very happy today. Number one, not because what I have achieved, but because what we can contribute towards the society. For a person who is coming from that kind of a background, local language background, I would also say that underprivileged background or rural background, this is people like me or you or other people who are coming from that background. There is a lot of scope for such people everywhere, because there is a perspective that has to be shared by those people. What are our experiences in rural life? What are our experiences in local languages? What are the challenges that we generally face? Somebody has to be there to share these experiences. Only after that, the society can come back with answers to those challenges. So there is a lot of scope, but generally we fail to identify that scope. Also, there are many reasons behind that, because we are not probably that much empowered financially that we can look at some other areas, we can look at some other opportunities, etc. Because we are basically focused on or more, aligned with our immediate requirements, immediate financial requirements. That's why we are not very much alive to the possibilities of contributing back to the society. But I believe in every single capacity, every single role that we are in, we can contribute to the society. And in Microsoft, under this role that I am in, I am very happy to be saying that we contribute to the society. It is not just a business. It is not just a business case that we are generating business for a multinational company. No, that is not the only thing. That is not the entire story. We who are working in such companies, multinational companies, international companies, we, the people who are coming from rural background, people from Indian language background, from a underprivileged background, we have an opportunity to leverage that very large mechanism that these organizations provide to give back to the society. Now, you will ask that what are you doing for the society? So first and foremost, we are trying to empower every single local language user. If you remember days, around 1990 or around that time, if you remember those days, you will remember that English was the de facto language for computing. Even today, many people believe that English is the de facto language for computing, but not so. That is not the reality today. In reality, today, computing is language agnostic. Everybody who uses any local language, for example, in India, we use 22 local languages, which are constitutionally recognized. Anybody using any constitutional recognized language can work on a computer, can work on a mobile phone, can work on cloud, they can work on internet, they can use even the most modern technologies, for example, artificial intelligence. There is a scope for Indian languages in artificial intelligence. And people like me who are connected with those large organizations, which are at the forefront of technology developments, we are there to highlight the need of the society that all of our languages need to be empowered. Whenever something new happens, people like me who come from that background, we get active and we highlight the need that yes, my language also needs to be here. You know, if translations, machine translations are being introduced, where is Hindi there? Where is Punjabi? So people like me who are in that ecosystem, we try to align with the overall vision of the organization and try to contribute to the society also. So that is one thing. How you empower your languages technologically, how you empower the people using that language technologically. For example, if we add typing mechanisms to Windows in these languages, everybody who is working on a computer will be able to input text. They will be able to, you know, create their files. They will be able to create their PowerPoint. They will be able to interact on the internet, etc. So that small contribution actually enables a large number of people to be able to interact with each other, to be able to participate in that information revolution. कितना बड़ा बदलाव आता है इसका हम अनुमान लगा सकते हैं छोटी सी चीज होने से। और आज आप देखेंगे कि कंप्यूटर में सिर्फ ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ हम टाइपिंग ही कर सकते हैं, कंप्यूटर में हम भारतीय भाषाओं में बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं। कुछ समय पहले ऐसा लगता था कि टाइपिंग ही एक चुनौती है हमारे लिए, लेकिन नहीं, वो चुनौती बहुत पहले दूर हो चुकी है। और मैं आपके साथ में साझा करना चाहूंगा कि 1991 में जब यूनिकोड नाम की एक एनकोडिंग आई, उसके आने के बाद 160 के लगभग दुनिया की भाषाएं कंप्यूटर के लिए समृद्ध हो गई, सक्षम हो गई यूनिकोड के आने के बाद। So Microsoft introduced Unicode support in 2000, and after that there is no looking back. You can work on almost any popular technology in your own language. For example, you can work in Microsoft Word, you can work in PowerPoint, you can work in on internet, you can receive your emails in your own language, you can build websites, and you can even use translation. I mean, the artificial intelligence enabled services, for example, machine translation. You can use that in your language. In fact, you can translate your text into 100 plus other languages of the world. We could not have imagined that maybe 10 years back. But now that is part of the entire ecosystem. So languages are there. Now, why this is important? This is important because we all know that many languages of the world are facing extinction. They are challenged because UNESCO says that out of the 7,200 languages in the world, 3,600 may vanish by the end of the century. But how do we save those languages? We can save those languages if we can create a technical ecosystem which supports those languages, because then we can convert all the documents in digital format. We can store them, we can save them forever. We can create systems to enable people to express themselves in their own language, so that empowers people. So that way we popularize those languages in the technology ecosystem also, and we empower each and every person. Now, there are, abundance of opportunities in India. We all know that every 9 people out of 10 today who are buying a mobile phone, they come from Indian language background. So unless and until we provide means to them to be able to express themselves on a mobile phone or computer, we will be creating a barrier, a technological barrier. But if we enable our languages there, we remove those barriers. So that way it also relates with the societal objectives, societal goals, etc. So anyway, I have spoken a lot about this. I would also like to talk about some more things, but I think I have taken a lot of time talking about my role here. My second role is accessibility, and that relates with people with disabilities. And we all know, maybe many of us know, that there is a large number of people across the world who come in this category. They are people with disabilities. There are more than 80 different categories of disabilities. For example, there is visual disability, which is blindness. There are 3 categories, subcategories in visual disability. One is blindness, another is low vision, and then there are some other disabilities, for example, color blindness. So within blindness, there are 3 categories. Then within hearing disabilities, there are many categories. Then within speech disabilities, there are many categories. In physical disabilities, there are many subcategories, etc. So the world has more than 80 different kinds of disabilities, and they are all respectful citizens of the world. Today in our world, we have 1 billion plus people who are in some way affected by some sort of disability. But then if you want to create an equitable society, if you want to create an equitable technology experience for everyone, we cannot leave them behind. We cannot leave them, out of our fold of technology or technological empowerment. We all talk about digital transformation these days, and all the countries, all the organizations, all the educational institutions, all the governments, all the departments, all the organizations, they are busy in their own digital transformation because they want to take advantage of the digital revolution today. But if that digital revolution or digital transformation does not include this part of our population, which is 15% of the population, I think that digital transformation will not be true. It will not be able to serve its purposes. It will not be able to empower the society or help the society or bring everyone on top of the information superhighway. So that will be, lopsided growth. But our work in the field of accessibility makes sure that everyone is empowered. Now that brings me to Microsoft's narrative. Organizations like Microsoft, you might see that these are organizations which are empowering us and they are making money. Probably they are building their business. Many people think like that, but no, there is another aspect of these organizations, and that is to enable each and every person with the technology. That Microsoft doesn't only do business. Lots of our applications are available for free. For example, Office 365, which is the latest application suite from Microsoft, which we have to buy, which is a cloud-based suite, which provides all the facilities like dictation. You speak and the system automatically types, which provides capabilities like machine translation, ability to identify text. It allows you to use handwriting to be able to input text. Now, this is a very powerful software suite that empowers everyone in their languages also. But then we feel that we have to buy this, and Microsoft will be building business on top of this. But no, even though if you don't want to buy that, still there is option to use this almost the same kind of technology for free. Just go to office.com on internet, sign up having a Microsoft account, and you will see the online version of these applications. Online version of Microsoft Word, you can use it for free. You don't have to buy that. You have online version of PowerPoint, you can use that for free. So there is another face of Microsoft and other large technology organizations, which is very social. Let me give you another example. In technology space, we use a product called Visual Studio. Using Visual Studio, people build applications, they build their own software, they build mobile software, and so many other things they can do. So you must think that must be very costly, because this is one application that enables others to create applications. So that must be very expensive in our thought. But you will be surprised and happy to know that there are two versions of that software. One is paid and another is free, which is called Microsoft Visual Studio Community. Completely free and fully feature packed. You can use Microsoft Visual Studio for Community to develop as good software as large organizations do, and that is for free. Another thing I would like to mention, that in the education space, we have so many programs for the teachers, for the institutions, for the students, etc., that make it possible for you, especially the faculty and the students, to get Microsoft Word almost for free at negligible prices. So those kind of things are there. For students, we have heavy discounts. We run a lot of skilling programs which are free, etc., etc. So there is a very strong social side of these organizations. Finally, we had a mission. We have seen our mission change over the years. Earlier, it was bringing a computer on every table. A computer on every table across the world. Wherever you are working, there has to be a computer. That was our mission earlier. That also is a social mission, because information revolution will not be possible unless there is a computer on every table. But now that has even changed. So after 2015, we have another mission, which is a updated one, which says that Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. We are there to empower people. Our mission does not talk about things, financial things or something like that. We don't want to create, maybe we don't talk about our brand, that we want to create a lot of, visibility for ourselves. No, we talk about empowering every single person on the planet to achieve more. So that way I can sum up this, saying that there is a very strong social element even in technology and in roles like the one that I have been in.
Thank you, Balendu. So I have few queries in my mind on one basic thing, since it's a program organized in an educational institution, and there are students who fight with so many problems in today's time, and everybody is concerned about the career and what they will be doing after acquiring their degrees. That's a major concern of everybody, and particularly we are living in an urban settings in the national capital. So that concern is a little bit different as compared to a small town boy or girl. That is one. Two, since this whole generation has taken birth in the technology age, so that way technology is not a handicap anybody who is of 20 years of age today. And then every second person is interested in doing something in digital media marketing, in content writing and all. So given that perspective, what would you like to tell them with regard to their digital competence?
Thank you. Very, I would say that very thoughtful question. Very important one, actually. So yes, you are right in saying that the new generation, is very friendly with technology. We call them digital natives. And these are the people who don't see, technology as a challenge. It is very friendly with them. I would like to share with you one very small experience that I have almost every day. The daughter of my neighbor, who is, I would say that 6 months old, when she watches a television, I mean, any television program, what she does is that she swipes her little hands on the television screen. So why does she do that? She will swipe her hands on the television screen, because whenever she comes across any screens, she believes that this is like mobile phone, which can be swiped. So they are very friendly. They are very friendly with the technology, with the mobile phone. I also have another, example, again of a 6-month or 9-month-old child. So there is a girl who, whenever she hears music, although she cannot walk, but she stands up whenever she hears that music, a particular music. So this is a generation which is different from us. I would say we are one generation behind these people, and these are millennials. They are very well connected with technology. Yes, they are using technology. They might be better than us in many aspects of technology. But what is most important here is that how do you leverage technology? How do you take advantage of technology? Because many youth I come across with, they are using technology for entertainment, for example, for gaming, for example, for communication, etc., for consuming content, etc., etc. So that is the crux of how they use technology. But we can go beyond that, and we must go beyond that, especially this generation that doesn't fear technology, that doesn't fear, the computers and mobile phones and cloud, etc. Their fundamentals are quite clear compared to the earlier generations. But how can you leverage it beyond what you do today? I would say that number one, consume the content that adds to your personality, adds to your growth, adds to the growth of your knowledge. Number one, use technology for that purpose. There is abundance of resources today on internet, on YouTube, on different kind of, there's skilling portals like Khan Academy, Udemy, Udacity, Coursera, EDX, Microsoft's LinkedIn Learning, etc., etc. So much, knowledge is there on internet, and which is available. Most of it is available for free to leverage. So I would say that use technology to grow in different aspects. Number one, grow in language. Learn better language, because you are in journalism. You will need mastery over language. Learn, different kind of skills using these free platforms. For example, you can learn how to use Microsoft Office in a better way, how to be a master in Excel, how to be a word master, how to start building websites, how can you build mobile applications, etc., etc. So much can be done. Also, how can you learn from others? For example, there are a large number of blogs which are created by accomplished journalists, which are available on internet. Just go there and try to read through what the content they have posted there. Learn from their experiences. Because I remember one phrase that if you want to be successful, in fact, that is one of the surveys done by LinkedIn, and this was the result of the survey, that if you want to be successful, then just follow somebody who is in the role that you want to be in. For example, if you want to be, a particular manager, you want to be an expert in some area. For example, if you want to be a person like Karan Thapar, follow Karan Thapar. Interact with Karan Thapar. Try to learn about Karan Thapar. Try to consume what he has created. Try to read his books, etc. And much of it is available for free on internet. So I would say grow using the technology in different aspects. Also increase your perspective of the world around you. Try to build a larger perspective of everything, because generally what is happening, and especially today, we look at things from a particular perspective, and then we limit ourselves. We limit our capabilities. We limit our thought process. I would encourage you to go beyond that. For example, somebody might believe in a particular political ideology, and they might say, all good things about that particular ideology. But as a journalist, you have to know what other political ideologies say. Just don't be a master of that particular ideology. Be open to everything else. Be open to the other alternatives which are there. For example, if you like a particular ideology, you should also know that what is Gandhism, what is Marxism, what is capitalism, what are so many other things which are there, what is Judaism, because there are so many things which, they have been propagated by people who have been exceptional in their own fields. Let's learn from that, and after that we will be able to build a larger perspective. And then if we judge somebody or something or some particular event, etc., I think that will be more informed way of looking at things. So I would say use technology for your growth in different ways.
Thank you, Balenduji. I mean, one interesting question is coming to my mind, which I cannot resist in asking. Like, you have been so long in this world of technology and all. So can you tell us your initial encounter, any memorable incident that would have happened, your initial encounter with the technology? And today also, I mean, whatever you are doing, but then you might be encountering certain things wherein you find yourself stuck somewhere. So, I mean, that 20 years back or so, any such encounter, and the present day encounter, if you can tell us.
Yes, definitely. I think that will be very, very pertinent. So yes, I think you are aware that I come from journalism. Mainly, I come from journalism background. And I was working with Rajasthan Patrika many years back. So it was a job of a sub-editor at that time. I was a sub-editor with Rajasthan Patrika, working on a city edition of Rajasthan Patrika. And I was very much limited to my routine work, like working on news stories and filing them to be published in the next day's newspaper, etc., etc. But I was somebody who was always unhappy with what he was doing, because I wanted to do something new, something more, something challenging. So whatever I did, after some time, it became, a routine for me. And I was again, a dissident by myself, that no, this is not what I have to do. I have to learn something new. I have to, start looking at new opportunities, because although I am there, my job is safe. I'm also recognized in my job, but I'm not happy deep inside, because I'm not growing from inside. I'm not investing in myself, my knowledge, my skills, etc. So that way I will remain like this. Okay, I can grow in this role. For example, I was sub editor, then I can be chief sub editor, and after that associate editor, and maybe someday editor. So, but that is lopsided growth only in journalism. What about other, opportunities? What about whatever else is happening in the society? I'm disconnected from that reality. So that was a time when computers were, just introduced, or they were getting popular, etc. So I thought that, how can I use computers? But we were not allowed to use computers because it was, very precious machine at that time. If you remember, at that time, computers were kept in a particular room, and that room was maintained. I mean, very low temperature was maintained in that room. Whenever we entered that room, we had to remove our shoes, our socks, etc. And then only we could go there. And in fact, we had to wear sweaters, etc. to enter there also. So it was a very privileged zone. Computers were very privileged zone at that time. So people like me, they did not have entry into that space. But I was interested in that. So what to do? So what I did is that I started working with those people who were working on computers. Like I became friendly with them, and I said that, okay, whenever you get, any creative work, please involve me. So Rajasthan Patrika was working on some advertisements. For example, they were coming, I mean, people, different companies were approaching Microsoft, Rajasthan Patrika, sorry, for placing their advertisements. And many of them did not have designs, the advertisement designs or graphics ready. So I offered my services for free that I can do for you because I'll get some chance to work on a computer. So I would draw a wireframe, and then I'll go to the person who was the graphics, graphic artist, and then I'll work with him, and we will work on the design. So that was the initial introduction to computers for me. Then I joined Jansatta, the Indian Express Group. So again, I was a sub-editor there. Then I was promoted to chief sub-editor role. But during that role, computers were introduced in Indian Express Group. And there was a lot of resistance among people that, no, we don't want to learn computers. Why are you imposing computers on us? And when I asked people that why, what is the problem? Then they said that, you don't know that our jobs will be over once the computers are in, because, the processes will change, and we will be nowhere. We will become jobless. But I said that no, even though people don't want to learn, but I want to learn. I'm going to be the first person to learn computers, because that was a chance to work on a computer practically on every single day. So I chose that, and I started learning computers. So typing, so I developed very good typing speed very soon, because in between I will also talk about the technology part of it. In Indian languages, there is a typing mechanism which is called InScript. And if you learn InScript, you can have very, very fast typing speed. For example, some days back, I judged my own, I reviewed my own typing speed, and it was 108 words per minute in Hindi. 108 words per minute. So it is not that I get the credit for that. It is the InScript technology which is there in Indian languages that gets the credit for that. I mastered that, and I am now getting benefited. And InScript is available in all Indian languages. If you learn in Hindi, if you learn typing in Hindi using InScript, you automatically learn typing in Tamil, Telugu, Bangla, Odia, Punjabi, etc. So just imagine the power of technology to bring all of us together. Even if you don't know that language or that script, you can still be able to work in that script and that language, irrespective of whether you know that language or not, but you know the InScript typing mechanism. Anyway, so I was talking about that. So very soon I developed very good speed in typing. Then I thought that, okay, I have already developed it. Now what else? Can I learn how to design the newspaper pages? Can I design the complete newspaper page? So again, there was resistance. People told me that, why, this is not your job. This is, there are page makers who actually work on this. Why do you want to do that? Then I said, I'm a learner. I'm a student. I want to learn. That's it. But I know that whenever you learn, you always, throughout your life, you benefit from that. Smallest of thing will benefit you throughout your life. And that benefit I get even today, because whenever we are designing something for Microsoft, I have some understanding of how I can place that particular content there. For example, there are certain rules that the page or the creative should be balanced. So there is a rule that it should not be heavy from one side, left side, or right side. If you develop that particular understanding, you benefit from that everywhere. Another thing is, for example, if you learn how different colors work with each other, whether blue color will work with yellow or not, whether yellow will work with gray or not. If you learn that thing, you benefit from that everywhere. Even if you are creating social creatives for social media, you are creating newsletters for your organization, you are creating PowerPoint presentations, you are even building software. Everywhere you will benefit from those little learnings that you undertake during that journey. So I benefited from that. So that is second part. Then I left Jansatta to join Hindustan Times Group, and we had a television channel called Home TV. When I went there, I saw that although we had so many programs in Hindi, but the anchor persons and people who were participating in those programs, they were reading scripts in Roman language, Roman script. So all the scripts for Hindi programs were also written in Roman. I asked as to why that is so. Then people told me that there are no Hindi softwares available for free, and if there are available, then they are very costly. Since I already had a inclination towards computers and technology, I said that I'll learn computing and I'll try to build one application. So I actually started reading, started studying computers, and then I built one application called Madhyam, which was the first free Hindi word processor. And I made it available for free for everyone. So, that is how my journey continued. And even today, you can download that. You just search on Google, Madhyam Hindi word processor, and you will find that, the first result will show Madhyam's page, and you can download it and you can use it. Yeah. So it was developed way back in, a couple of decades back, but that is how I got connected. Even after that, as I told you that I was a constant learner as well as a dissident in myself. So when I was working with Sahara TV, I felt, unhappy that I was doing the same thing every day. I must do something else. And at that time, it was computing and technology which was coming up in Indian languages. That was the time when we were seeing that something called information revolution is happening. So one day I resigned from, Sahara TV, thinking that I will enter the world of computing. And this was a surprise to my wife also, my family also. My wife got surprised, shocked actually, that what have you done? I told her that I have resigned today, and then what will you do? I told her that I'll start learning computers. So she was taken aback. What do you say? You are at a senior level in a television channel. You have, a background in print and everywhere. Different kind of very good background. What have you done? And I said, no, I want to be student again. I want to start at zero once again because I'm unhappy. I don't want to do the routine work. I want to do something new. So I started learning. I did, at that time I was MA in Hindi and BSc before that. And I had already done postgraduate diploma in journalism. So that was my qualification at that time. I was a copy cat journalist, I would say, that very typical journalist. But then I started learning computers and started from zero. And after that, you see that one important thing I would like to mention with you is that when I left Sahara TV, my salary was around 14,000 rupees at that time. It was quite early, many years back. But when I started in computing, my first job it paid me 3,500 rupees per month. So you believe somebody resigning from a job which was 4 times, more paying, and entering another stream entirely different, and starting with a job getting a salary of 3,500 rupees. And after that, within a few months, actually, I got another opening, another opportunity where I was paid 12,500. So then I thought that, okay, now it's almost all right. And then, sky was the limit, and I never looked back. I did my postgraduate diploma in computing. After that, I did MSc in computing. After that, I did Master of Computer Applications. After that, I did MBA, and I continued my journey like that. So it is how it happened. In 2007, I came across Microsoft. Microsoft awarded me with the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. At that time, I was an editor for an online portal, but that was my first interaction with Microsoft. And I would also say one thing that also has a message for the students, that after that, I started dreaming that I'll be in Microsoft one day. So that was a distant dream, although, but that was my dream. And we all know, the people say that if you can dream, I think then you can actually achieve it also. So that is what is the saying. So I think Roosevelt says that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So I started dreaming that I'll be with Microsoft one day. And when we shifted to Gurgaon in 2014, I was, visiting. I was passing through Microsoft office with my children, and my children asked, "Papa, ye aapka office hai kya?" Because they knew that I was Microsoft most valuable professional. That was an award that I got. But they thought that he's also working with Microsoft. That's why he's, in our home there is a certificate which has Microsoft's logo. So मेरे बेटे ने पूछा कि पापा ये आपका ऑफिस है क्या? तो मैंने कहा बेटा है तो नहीं, लेकिन शायद ये एक दिन मेरा ऑफिस होगा. And within, I think, 1 year, actually, that became my office.
Thank you, Balendu ji. I mean, it is really inspiring for everybody to listen to your story. Now, there are students who want to ask questions. So, students who are there and who want to ask questions, the names that I have. Khushi Shrivastava, are you there? Yeah, ask your question, Khushi.
Hanji, sir. Greetings, sir, and greeting everybody. Actually, I would like to ask, since you're promoting Indian languages, so what do you want to say? कि हम आजकल हम देखते हैं कि everybody is nowadays have become English language oriented. जैसे यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं अमेरिका हो या फिर टोक्यो हो, तो वहाँ पे हम देखते हैं कि वो अपनी रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस को ज्यादा प्रमोट करते हैं, चाहे कुछ भी हो, they always speak in their languages. But हमारे साइड अगर हम देखें तो we always like हम दूसरों not like दूसरों, but हम ज्यादा दूसरी कंट्री की लैंग्वेज को प्रमोट करते हैं rather than our country's language. And also हम क्या करते हैं कि अगर कोई और बोल रहा है हमारी रीजनल लैंग्वेज है तो हम उसका मजाक बनाते हैं. So what do you want to say about it?
Yes. So I want to give you a message that we should feel pride in our background. है ना? पहली बात तो ये हुआ कि हमें हमारी पृष्ठभूमि के बारे में हमें गर्व होना चाहिए, क्योंकि भारत जो है वो बहुत ही समृद्ध संस्कृति, बहुत समृद्ध धरोहर वाला राष्ट्र है. हमारे देश में और हमारी भाषा में कोई कमी नहीं है. अगर हम हिंदी के बारे में बात करें तो आपको आश्चर्य होगा कि हिंदी की जो शब्दावली है वो अरविंद कुमार नाम के एक बड़े विद्वान हुए हैं जिन्होंने एक समांतर कोश निकाला था कुछ साल पहले. तो उन्होंने 8 लाख से ज्यादा हिंदी के शब्द ढूंढे थे. तो हमारी भाषा में देखो शब्दावली की कोई कमी नहीं है, हमारे साहित्य में विधाओं की कोई कमी नहीं है. आप किसी भी तरह की विधा आप ढूंढोगे ना दुनिया में जो हो रही है, यहाँ तक कि जो लेटेस्ट भी है, जैसे हाइकू जो जापान से आया, बहुत छोटी सी 3 पंक्तियों की, बहुत छोटी सी कुछ शब्दों की कविता होती है, वो भी हिंदी में है ना. तो हमारे यहाँ विधाओं की कोई कमी नहीं. उपन्यास हो, कहानी हो, व्यंग्य हो, रिपोर्टाज हो, हाइकू हो, साक्षात्कार हो, रेडियो नाटक हो, कुछ कोई कमी नहीं है. बहुत समृद्ध हमारा साहित्य है ना. उसके बाद आप देखो कि अगर इतिहास के साथ में जोड़ोगे, इफ यू कनेक्ट दैट विद द हिस्ट्री और आवर वर्क इन हिस्ट्री, यू विल सी दैट संस्कृत हो या हिंदी हो या अदर लैंग्वेजेस, कितना रिच हमारा पास्ट रहा है ना. जैसे संस्कृत के बारे में हम बात करते हैं, हिंदी और अन्य भारतीय भाषाएं, ज्यादातर भारतीय भाषाएं संस्कृत से निकली हुई हैं, और हमारी जो लिपि है वो ब्राह्मी से निकली हुई है. वो लिपि और भाषा बहुत समृद्ध रही है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू नो अबाउट कालिदासा, है ना. कालिदासा की मेघदूतम जो हमारी एक रचना रही है, वो इतनी बड़ी रचना है कि आप उसको पढ़ोगे, उसका अनुवाद भी पढ़ोगे तो यू विल बी वेरी हैप्पी. यू विल फील दैट ओके, दैट इज द क्वालिटी ऑफ आवर लिटरेचर, you know, which took place thousands of years back or hundreds of years back. इतना समृद्ध हमारा साहित्य. आयुर्वेद को देखो आप, आयुर्वेद हमारा सारा संस्कृत में लिखा गया या भारतीय भाषाओं में लिखा गया, कितना समृद्ध है. योगा के बारे में जितनी किताबें आई, अष्टावक्र योग हो या फिर पतंजलि योग शास्त्र हो, या कितना समृद्ध है हमारा साहित्य वहां पर. तो हमारा साहित्य, हमारी भाषाएं, इनमें कोई कमी नहीं है. और ये हमारी भाषा इतनी समृद्ध है, आपको आश्चर्य होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, few days back I was exploring one Sanskrit phrase which you can read from both sides. जैसे आपने देखा होगा मलयालम एक शब्द है which is called palindrome in English. You can read it from either side and it will be the same. But come to Sanskrit and you will be surprised to know कि वहाँ पूरे के पूरे श्लोक हैं which you can read from either side. आप शुरू से पढ़ो या लास्ट से उल्टा पढ़ के आ जाओ, सेम. ओके, टेक इट वन स्टेप बियॉन्ड दैट ऑल्सो. ऐसे भी श्लोक हैं जिसको जब आप लेफ्ट से राइट पढ़ते हो तो वो राम की आराधना में लिखा हुआ है, लेकिन उसी श्लोक को जब आप राइट से लेफ्ट पढ़ते हो तो वो कृष्ण की आराधना में लिखा हुआ दूसरा श्लोक है. जस्ट इमेजिन द काइंड ऑफ लैंग्वेज दैट वी, यू नो, द रिचनेस ऑफ द लैंग्वेज वी हैव. कैन यू इमेजिन? तमिल भाषा में आते हैं और तमिल लैंग्वेज पर आते हैं तो आपको तर्जुम होगा कि जैसे वहां पर एक सेंटेंस है, 3 पंक्तियां हैं, उसको आप लेफ्ट से राइट पढ़ो तो भी सही वही आएगा. मतलब 3 शब्द हैं तमिल के. पहली लाइन में 3 शब्द, दूसरी में 3 शब्द, तीसरी में 3 शब्द. ठीक है, आप उसको ऊपर से आप लेफ्ट टू राइट पढ़ोगे तो भी वही आएगा और ऊपर से नीचे पढ़ोगे तो भी वही आएगा. कैन यू इमेजिन? मतलब एक आप इमेजिन करो कि 3 शब्द, उसके नीचे 3, उसके नीचे 3, उसको ऊपर से नीचे पढ़ रहे हो तो भी सेम सेंटेंस बन रहा है, और लेफ्ट टू राइट पढ़ रहे हो तो भी सेम सेंटेंस बन रहा है. दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ रिचनेस. तो एक तो हमें वी शुड फील प्राइड इन द, यू नो, लेगेसी दैट वी हैव, है ना. हमारे पास अपरिमित धरोहर है. और दूसरी बात यह है कि हमको अब कॉन्फिडेंस जरूर होना चाहिए. अब क्यों कह रहा हूं अब? क्योंकि नंबर 1, टेक्नोलॉजी इज विद अस. मैं कहता हूं टेक्नोलॉजी जो है हमारी भाषाओं के साथ एक अदृश्य योद्धा के रूप में और एक अदृश्य साथी के रूप में हमारे साथ है. बिकॉज टेक्नोलॉजी एम्पावरिंग यू. अब आज आप हिंदी में मान लीजिए, इफ यू लाइक टू रीड इन हिंदी, बट स्टिल you can consume content in French language. You can translate that in Hindi and read. तो बैरियर्स खत्म हो रहे हैं ना. तो टेक्नोलॉजी हम सबको एम्पावर कर रही है. तीसरी बात यह है कि हमारे पास जो इंडिया के पास जो बहुत बड़ी बात कही जाती है, वी हैव द पावर ऑफ पीपल. संख्या बल है हमारे पास. आज जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा, every 9 people out of 10 who are buying new mobile phones, they are coming from Indian language background. Now that is creating demand. And you know that businesses in capitalist economy, they follow demand. Where there is demand, there will be supply. So everyone has to, you know, come to that place and start supplying. So feel confidence, you know, believe in the power that you have, the power of our history, our culture, and the power of the people that we have, and the power of the languages that we have. और उसके बाद आप अपना आत्मसम्मान बढ़ाओ. दूसरी बात मैं ये कहूंगा कि जैसे बड़ी कंपनियां भी जो है जहां पर अंग्रेजी की संस्कृति हो, लेकिन वहां भी अगर आप शुरू करते हो ना जब भाषाओं में बोलना, तो पीपल स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू यू. आपको थोड़ा सा मतलब उस पर स्थिर रहना पड़ता है. परसिवरेंस जिसको कहते हैं ना अंग्रेजी में, वो आप रहेंगे तो लोग नोटिस करेंगे और फिर लोग आपको फॉलो करने लगते हैं. दैट हैज बीन माय एक्सपीरियंस.
जी, आगे बढ़ते हैं. शांभवी श्री, तुम अपना सवाल पूछना चाहती हो? और हाँ शांभवी.
I was saying that now the technology is so advanced that there is auto summarization, autocorrect, speech to text. These advancements, is this all in a positive light? Or if there is negative impact on human creativeness, then what is it?
Yes. So actually, very nice, very, very interesting question, and very pertinent one actually.
Yes,
you know, technology is always evolving. So today, like if you go back to 20 years, I mean, go back by 20 years, people were thinking that computers will make us jobless. Like I shared my own experience also with you, but that did not happen. No?
No,
actually, computers created a lot of new jobs, unlimited number of jobs they created. Okay, let's move forward in the history. After computers, we saw introduction of communication technologies. For example, everywhere around you there were these stalls for making phone calls, because STD and ISD was introduced sometime back in future. You might not remember because you might not have used those kind of facilities, but I think Ambrish sir and Sushmita ji may have used it. So there were small shops where you went and you made phone calls, because ISD and STD was not available in our homes. You had to go to some shop for that purpose. Okay. But after that, what happened is that mobile phones came. Now, so many people say that what will happen to these jobs, these poor people. Now everybody has a mobile phone, they can make ISD and STD calls, then what will happen to them? So actually those people vanished, but what happened is that they also evolved. They converted their business into mobile phone business. Those shops did not vanish, but mobile phone technology created more opportunities. Okay, then internet came. Again, there were many fears that the internet will, it will end so many businesses, because now people will start buying from different places and so many other things. So there were fears the internet will also create a problem, a havoc in the society. There will be cyber crime, etc., whatnot. But then internet did not destruct the society, did not kill the jobs. It created unlimited jobs. Similarly, artificial intelligence, about which people say that this is going to be misnomer or dinosaur or something like that. I mean, it will make us turn into technology dinosaurs, because we will not have anything to do. All work will be done by technology. I don't think so, because technology is constantly evolving. The people also are evolving along with technology. So in future, I and you might not be able to envision as to what is going to be in future, but maybe in future, artificial intelligence will be just a natural part of our lives, like computers or mobile phones are today. We will grow beyond that. Our businesses will grow beyond the today's limitations. We will have new possibilities that we will tap at that time in future. So don't worry about that and start learning this.
जी एक दो क्वेश्चन और ले लेते हैं बालेंद्र जी. एक Ishika Shaw, are you there? You want to ask question?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Since we are talking about Hindi, I would like to ask my question in Hindi itself.
Sure.
सर जैसा कि आपने बताया कि आपकी स्कूलिंग और आपका बैकग्राउंड काफी नॉर्मल रहा था, तो सर ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि जैसे लैंग्वेज बैरियर की वजह से आपने कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी मिस करी हो? सर जैसा कि हमें पता है कि आपने आत्माराम अवार्ड तक आपको मिली है, लाइक आपने अचीव किया है, तो सर ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि कोई ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी हो जो आपको नहीं मिल सकी हो या फिर आप परफॉर्म नहीं कर सके हो ड्यू टू लैंग्वेज?
हाँ, तो देखिए, मैं तो चूंकि हिंदी की पृष्ठभूमि से आता हूँ, तो मेरे लिए तो ये मतलब जितना सब लोगों को चुनौतियां आती है, वैसी चुनौतियां मेरे साथ भी आई. लेकिन मुझे लगा कि चूंकि मैं एक लर्निंग ओरिएंटेड छात्र था या युवक था, मैं हमेशा आज भी अगर आप मुझसे पूछेंगे कि मैं अगर आपको कोई संदेश देना चाहूँ तो क्या दूंगा, तो उसमें से एक ये है कि आपको कीप लर्निंग, विच आई डू टुडे ऑल्सो. तो मेरे सामने चुनौतियां तो बहुत आती थी. आपको आश्चर्य होगा कि हम लोग वो हैं जिन्होंने 6ठी कक्षा में अंग्रेजी का ABCD सीखा था. कक्षा 5 तक तो हम लोग सिर्फ हिंदी ही पढ़ते थे. ABCD की शुरुआत भी हमारे लिए, मतलब अल्फाबेट्स भी हमने 6ठी में सीखे थे. और हमने, जैसे मैं BSc किया था, तो 12वीं कक्षा तक तो हिंदी में ही था हमारा सब कुछ. इवन फिजिक्स भी पढ़ता था तो मैं हिंदी में ही पढ़ता था. केमिस्ट्री, रसायन जिसको बोलते हैं, फिजिक्स को भौतिकी बोलते हैं हम लोग, तो सब कुछ हम हिंदी में ही पढ़ते थे. तो जो शब्द आज हम अंग्रेजी में इस्तेमाल करते हैं, हम हिंदी में करते थे. जैसे तरंग दैर्ध्य है या त्रिज्या है या त्रिकोणमिति है, जो सारे हिंदी के शब्द जो बहुत सुंदर शब्द हैं हिंदी में, उनमें हम करते थे. और हमें कुछ नहीं लगता था कि भाई हमें कोई उलझन नहीं महसूस होती थी. जब मैं थोड़ा बड़ा हुआ और जब मैंने ये डिबेट देखी कि हिंदी में विज्ञान की पढ़ाई नहीं हो सकती, तो मुझे बड़ा दुख भी होता था और आश्चर्य होता था कि क्यों नहीं हो सकती. भाई हम लोग तो सब हिंदी में पढ़कर आए हैं और इतने सुंदर शब्द होते थे, हमको कभी कंफ्यूजन ही नहीं हुआ. हमें त्रिज्या को समझने में या मान लीजिए आपको व्यास को समझने में या तरंग दैर्ध्य को समझने में या आवृत्ति को समझने में हमें कोई जरूरत नहीं थी कि फ्रिक्वेंसी पढ़ेंगे हम या उसको जितने भी पैरामीटर पढ़ेंगे या हम परिधि वगैरह जितने शब्द थे बहुत अच्छी तरह से हम उनमें ढल गए थे और हमें अच्छा लगता था। और हमें कभी महसूस ही नहीं हुआ कि ऑल ऑफ ए सडन हमें 12वीं के बाद जब 13वीं में जाएंगे, फर्स्ट ईयर में जाएंगे जब साइंस में, तो हम पर अंग्रेजी थोप दी जाएगी, है ना। तो हम तो उसी इकोसिस्टम से, मैं उसी से आता हूँ। और जब मैं 12वीं में आया, 13वीं में आया, फर्स्ट ईयर में आया, मैं जयपुर में विज्ञान का छात्र था, महाराजा कॉलेज का। तो उस समय फिर हमको अंग्रेजी आ गई कि अब आपको अंग्रेजी में पढ़ना है। तो हम सब के लिए बहुत बड़ा संकट था कि 12वीं तक तो हमने भाई सब कुछ हिंदी में पढ़ा है, अब अंग्रेजी सीखे पहले तो, है ना। पहले तो हमें एक, जैसे आपके जो छात्र हमारे जाते हैं ना, रशिया पढ़ने जाते हैं, चाइना जाते हैं, जर्मनी जाते हैं, तो उनके सामने ये आता है कि भाई आपको मेडिकल की पढ़ाई तो बाद में करना है, पहले तो जर्मन सीखो, उसके बाद आप पढ़ोगे। तो हमारे लिए भी वो चुनौती थी। बहरहाल हमने सीखा उसको और धीरे धीरे ढले। तो अब क्या है कि हमारा इकोसिस्टम ऐसा है जो भारतीय भाषाओं को की अनदेखी करता है। दुख की बात है वो कि वो नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमें बिलीफ क्यों नहीं है हमारी भाषाओं में। जब मैं आपको एक दृष्टांत साझा करना चाहूंगा, कपिल सिब्बल भारत के शिक्षा मंत्री रहे थे पहले, मानव संसाधन मंत्री। उन्होंने एक बैठक बुलाई थी, उसमें मुझे भी जाने का अवसर मिला। तो उन्होंने पूछा कि क्या क्या चुनौतियां आपको लगती है। तो मैंने कहा सबसे पहली बात तो यही है कि आप 12वीं के बाद 13वीं में, मतलब फर्स्ट ईयर में, आप मातृभाषा में पढ़ाई क्यों नहीं कराते विज्ञान और टेक्नोलॉजी की, तो वो होनी चाहिए। तो उन्होंने कहा नहीं नहीं, वो तो बहुत मुश्किल होगा, साइंस आप कैसे पढ़ेंगे हिंदी में, कई लोगों ने कहा। तो मैंने कहा देखिए, मैं तो 12वीं तक हिंदी में विज्ञान मैंने पढ़ी है और मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई, तो 13वीं में क्या दिक्कत आ जाएगी। मतलब 9th में मेरी हिंदी में मैंने विज्ञान पढ़ी, 10वीं में पढ़ी, 11वीं में पढ़ी, 12वीं में पढ़ी, तो 13वीं में, मतलब फर्स्ट ईयर में क्या प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी, उसमें भी पढ़ सकते हैं हम। मैंने कहा ये आपके स्तर पर है, ये सोच के स्तर पर है हमारे, लेकिन भाषा हमें नहीं रोकती। और देखिए आज जो बदलाव हमारे आसपास आ रहे हैं, सरकार ने इंजीनियरिंग और साइंस, विज्ञान और दूसरे जो प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज है उनकी पढ़ाई हिंदी में कराने का सिलसिला शुरू किया है, जो कि बहुत बड़ी अच्छी शुरुआत है। और आज हम लोग ये महसूस कर रहे हैं ना कि इनकी पढ़ाई हिंदी में हो सकती है।
जी।
तो
बालेंदु जी, अंतिम सवाल एक लेके हम कार्यक्रम
हाँ जी,
समाप्त
बातें
करेंगे।
बहुत सारी है, लेकिन वो बहुत,
जी
हमारे पास समय की सीमा है।
जी।
मुझे छात्र छात्राओं के साथ में इंटरेक्शन करने में बहुत आनंद आता है।
वो तो आपको रस आ रहा है, हमें भी सुनने में रस आ रहा है, वो तो कार्यक्रम की सफलता ही इसी में है। विनायक यादव, अपना सवाल पूछो।
Yes, sir. Sir, it's a great honor to have you with us. Sir, in this modern era of technology, where India is progressing towards development, but still problems such as like data security and data manipulation. So how can we overcome these problems, sir?
Yeah, so that is a universal problem actually, a big problem. Actually, there are two major areas of concern as far as internet is concerned, and I would say not two, but more than two also. 3-4 areas, major areas where there are concerns. Number one is privacy, because all of us who are using internet-based applications or websites or services, somewhere we sacrifice on our privacy, because you know that there are many organizations that ask you to sign on a particular statement or agreement when you sign up for a service. For example, if you go to create your email address, you will see a agreement come up, and you are asked to say yes to that agreement. In that agreement, it is written that your data is not private to yourself. That company can use that data. But that is a challenge, because that should not be there, because your data has to be your own data. You have to be your owner, the owner of your data. Why should third party or third person should be able to access that data? So that is one challenge. Now, since they say beforehand that they are going to use it, and if you want to use their services, that you have to say yes, and you say yes, so now they are free. Now they can use your data, but that is a concern, number one. And there is, somebody from a very large multinational company, some years back, that person said that if you are using some service on internet, then you should not think about privacy, because you cannot exercise your privacy if you are on internet. But I would like to disagree from that statement. Irrespective of your use of internet, you are the owner of your data. You can secure your privacy irrespective of that. Irrespective of you are using somebody's free services, still you have to be the owner of your data. So now this is a worldwide concern, and there have been so many concerns among the governments also, and because of that, some regulations are coming in place. For example, in EU, there is a law called IDPR, that is for GDPR, which is for protection of your data, for everyone's data. So even if some companies are providing services to you for free, still your data has to be your own. Now that is also going to happen in India. We also have relevant laws in place, and we are also working to make them even more teethy. So I believe that in future, privacy issue will be tackled. Security is another issue, and that relates with somebody accessing your computer or your digital identity or your data, etc., and misusing it. For example, cyber criminals are there, hackers are there, even certain agencies might be looking for data, etc. So that is another threat to individual security. And then there is one more thing, which is fake news. Like, technology is being misused by people to create fake narrative on someone else's part. For example, I have not said something, but somebody might say that Balendu has said this thing, because they can emulate my voice. They can also use deep fake, for example, in which videos can be created in which I'm made to say something which I'm not saying. So those kind of things are there. Then you can manipulate, somebody's pictures, morphing you. I think you are aware of morphing, etc. So those kind of things are also there. But ultimately, if there are certain challenges emanating from technology, then technology is capable of addressing them also. So technology will bring answers to all of these problems as well, with the help of government and regulation as well.
थैंक यू बालेंदु जी. आपने जितने तरह के इश्यूज उठाए, वी नीड मोर एंड मोर टाइम फेक न्यूज से लेके जितना अभी डेटा रेगुलेशन है, बट देन ऑब्वियसली देयर इज अ लीगल साइड टू दिस, देयर इज एन एथिकल साइड टू दिस आल्सो. तो जब हम सारे लोग टेक्नोलॉजी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, तो हमें अपने लिए भी औरों के लिए भी कुछ ऐसी एथिकल स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं जिनका सबको पालन करना चाहिए, सो दैट वी डू नॉट एंक्रोच अपॉन अनदर पर्सन्स एरिया. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स व्हिच ऑब्वियसली वी हैव टू डील विद. So moving forward towards the end of this program, if I am asked to conclude, there are certain things which I have learned from your session, and I believe everyone in this session would have learned. और जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चीज जो मुझे आपके सेशन से मिली, that one has to be an eternal learner. हमें सबको किसी भी एज में, किसी भी स्टेज पे हम हैं, अगर हम सब ने 20 साल से लेके 60 साल तक किसी भी एज तक हमने ये आदत डाल ली कि हमें नई चीजें सीखनी है, तो निश्चित रूप से फिर हमारे सामने किसी भी तरह की कोई बाधा नहीं है. एक डिटर्मिनेशन होना चाहिए, और अगर ऐसा है तो हम खुद भी अपने जीवन में आगे बढ़ेंगे, और हम जो भी काम करेंगे उससे कहीं ना कहीं सोसाइटी को भी उसका लाभ मिलेगा, उसका बेनिफिट होगा. और एक जो चीज जो मुझे स्ट्राइक की, जो आपने कहा कि आपने कई बार यूज किया, आप डिसिडेंट थे. सो ये आपको असंतुष्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है अगर आपको नई चीजें सीखनी है, नई चीजें करनी है. क्योंकि अगर आप स्टेटस कोइस्ट हैं, आपको जो है आप उसी में खुश हैं, तो आप कुछ नया करने की कोशिश नहीं करेंगे, कोई नया चैलेंज अपने जीवन में नहीं लेंगे, और जब तक चैलेंज नहीं लेंगे तो आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते. तो जो एक सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ असंतुष्टि है, वो भी आपको जीवन में बढ़ने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. और हम सभी सपने देखते हैं, लेकिन सपने वो हो जो साकार हो जाए. तो अगर आप शिद्दत से सपने को साकार करने की कोशिश करें, तो निश्चित रूप से जैसे बालेंदु जी के हुए, वैसे मुझे लगता है इस सेशन में जितने हमारे यंग लोग हैं, वो भी इस बात को आज अगर समझ लें कि सिर्फ सपने देखना जरूरी है, सपने देखें, लेकिन उन सपनों को पूरा करने का प्रयास भी करना पड़ेगा. कोई शॉर्टकट्स नहीं है लाइफ में, चाहे आप किसी भी एज में पैदा हुए हो. ठीक है, टेक्नोलॉजी आज की एज में जो पैदा हुआ है उसके साथ है, लेकिन जो जैसे बालेंदु जी ने कहा कि टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल कैसे करना है ग्रोथ के लिए, हमें ये भी आना चाहिए। तो यंग लोगों के लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण ये है कि टेक्नोलॉजी सीखने में उतनी मशक्कत नहीं करनी, वो है, लेकिन उसका बेहतर इस्तेमाल हम कैसे कर सकते हैं और अच्छी तरह इस्तेमाल कैसे कर सकते हैं, और कैसे हम अगर अपने फॉर्च्यून्स की भी बात सोचते हैं, कैसे अपने फॉर्च्यून्स को इंश्योर कर सकते हैं, और कैसे पूरे देश को और समाज को, क्योंकि जब हम आगे बढ़ेंगे तो सभी लोग हमारे साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे, और वो हम कैसे कर सकते हैं। लेकिन हाँ, आत्मविश्वास होना बहुत जरूरी है, जैसा बालेंदु जी ने कहा, और उनकी पूरी लाइफ ही इस बात की मिसाल है कि कैसे आत्मविश्वास के साथ सही रास्ता तय करके आप कैसे जीवन में आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। तो मुझे लगता है ये जो इंस्पिरेशन हमें आज के सेशन में मिला, ये हम सभी के बहुत ही काम आएगा।
मैं दो
और
चार सूत्र भी देना चाहूंगा, चूंकि
जी
आपके छात्र हैं, तो
जी
जो मैं बिलीव करता हूँ, जल्दी से 2-3 मिनट में मैं 2-3 सूत्र जरूर देना चाहूंगा।
जी जी
पहली बात तो ये है कि बी ए डूअर नॉट ए टॉकर। काम करना है हमें, जैसे आपने भी कहा, मतलब बात करने वाले नहीं होने चाहिए। हम सिर्फ इमेजिनेशन में नहीं, कल्पना लोक में ही नहीं घूमते रहे, हमको हमको काम करने वाला बनना है। मतलब वॉल्ट डिज्नी का एक वो स्टेटमेंट है कि द वे टू गेट स्टार्टेड इज टू क्विट टॉकिंग एंड बिगिन डूइंग। तो पहली बात, बी ए डूअर नॉट ए टॉकर, काम करना शुरू करो। दूसरा, बी ए मास्टर ऑफ वॉट एवर यू डू। आप जो जिस क्षेत्र में है उसके मास्टर बन जाएं। जैसे मान लीजिए आप जर्नलिज्म में हैं, तो कम से कम आपको अपनी लैंग्वेज, आपको आत्मविश्वास होना चाहिए कि मेरी भाषा बहुत अच्छी है, मुझे लिखने की स्टाइल आती है, मुझे कोई व्याकरण संबंधी त्रुटियां मैं नहीं करूंगा, स्टाइल मेरी लिखने की एक अच्छी स्टाइल है, मैं क्रिएटिव आदमी हूँ, कुछ अलग ढंग से सोच सकता हूँ, आदि आदि। क्योंकि हमने देखा है कि जो पत्रकारिता में जो छात्र आते हैं उनके साथ बुनियादी समस्याएं होती है। उदाहरण के तौर पर हेडिंग ना बना पाना या सही कॉपी ना लिख पाना। तो जो भी आप करें उसमें मास्टर बनिए कम से कम पहले। उसके बाद हैव अ बिग गोल, बड़ा गोल बना करके चलिए और उस पर आप काम कीजिए। जो जैसे मैंने आपसे कहा कि मैंने एक बार कहा था कि भाई माइक्रोसॉफ्ट की बिल्डिंग से गुजरते हुए कि मैं, हाँ मुझे इसमें, मैं, ये मेरा ऑफिस है भविष्य का, और संयोगवश में वहां पहुंच गया। तो बड़ा गोल रखिए, लेकिन प्रैक्टिकल गोल होना चाहिए और उसके लिए आपको काम करना होगा। चौथा, कोई भी आपको रोक नहीं सकता वो अचीव करने से जिसके कैपेबल आप हैं। मतलब नथिंग कैन स्टॉप यू फ्रॉम अचीविंग व्हाट यू हैव पोटेंशियल फॉर। अगर आप में संभावना है तो कोई भी रोक नहीं सकता। डॉक्टर कलाम का उदाहरण आपके सामने है, कितनी छोटी जगह से आते थे, कहाँ पहुंचे। अरुणिमा सिन्हा, जिनको रेल से फेंक दिया गया था, जिनके पांव कट गए, लेकिन वो एवरेस्ट पे पहुंची। और ऐसे और बहुत सारे उदाहरण आपको मिल जाएंगे। कोई नहीं रोकता, आप खुद अपने आप को रोकते हैं अगर आप सफल नहीं होते। फिर सेल्फ बिलीफ, आपके जितने भी गुण हैं उनमें आपकी बिलीफ होनी चाहिए, आत्मविश्वास होना चाहिए। उसके बाद बी ओपन टू अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड पॉसिबिलिटीज। अपनी बात सीखने के बाद नया क्या है, ट्रेंड्स को फॉलो करना, दुनिया में क्या नया हो रहा है। जैसे आप ऐसी जॉब ढूंढते रहेंगे जहां संभावना ही नहीं निकल रही तो आपको मुश्किल होगा, लेकिन आप अगर ट्रेंड्स को फॉलो करते हैं, लिंक्डइन पे जाइए, naukri.com, इंटरनेट पे सर्च कीजिए व्हाट इज न्यू, व्हाट इज ट्रेंडी दीज डेज, और जो आप फाइंड आउट करेंगे उस पर फोकस कीजिए, तो आपको, आपके लिए संभावनाएं बेहतर होंगी। मतलब आप नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए लुकआउट कीजिए। देन आपका रियल टैलेंट जो है ना, उसको कोई रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता। आपके हार्डवर्क को और आपके जुनून को कोई रिप्लेस नहीं कर सकता है। वो आपको विनर बनाता है। हार्ड वर्क से बचना नहीं है। आजकल मैं स्टूडेंट्स को देखता हूं जो कहते हैं कि, जो जॉब छोड़ देते हैं कि नहीं, इस जॉब में बहुत काम करना पड़ता है। मुझे बड़ा अफसोस होता है कि आप ये कैसे कह रहे हो भाई, आपकी ये आयु है सीखने की, हार्ड वर्क करने की। मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूंगा। मैं जब राजस्थान पत्रिका में था तो वहां पर हमारा एक सप्लीमेंट बनता था जिसमें कम से कम 7-8 लोगों की हमें जरूरत थी। एक पूरा बड़ा सप्लीमेंट बनता था कई पेजों का। एक बार कोई नहीं आया था और मैं अकेला था। मैं 36 घंटे तक ऑफिस से घर नहीं गया और मैंने अकेले ही वो बनाया। तो आपको हार्डवर्क का कोई रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं है, क्योंकि जब आप ऐसा करते हो तो आपको रिकॉग्निशन मिलता है, आप अपने आप में अपने आप को एक बेहतर लेवल पर पहुंचाते हो। और लर्निंग इज लाइफ लॉन्ग। यू हैव टू हैव अ लर्निंग माइंडसेट कि आप हमेशा सीखते रहो। उसके बाद बी पार्टिसिपेटिव एंड ओपन। आप लोग झिझकिए मत। जब आपको अपनी बात कहनी हो, अपनी बात कहिए। आप उसको छिपाने से क्या होगा कि वो बात, आप बहुत अच्छा आइडिया भी आपके पास ही रह जाएगा और आपको कोई भी वो नहीं मिलेगी, मतलब आपको रिकॉग्निशन भी नहीं मिलेगी। और हर साल आपको एक लेवल ऊपर पहुंचना है, ये टारगेट लेकर के चलिए। और फाइनली 2 बातें, गिव बैक टू द सोसाइटी। जो भी अगर आप सफल हो जाते हैं तो किसी न किसी रूप में समाज को लौटाइए। और अंतिम बात, सबसे जरूरी बात, बी अ गुड ह्यूमन बीइंग। नथिंग कैन रिप्लेस दिस सिंगल thing that every one of us should, single goal that every one of us have. अच्छे इंसान बनना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है। सारी सफलताएं इसके बाद है।
थैंक यू बालेंदु जी, आपने तो सारा गागर में सागर भर दिया, सारी चीजें बता दी। अब कितना स्टूडेंट उनका पालन करेंगे इसके ऊपर निर्भर करता है कि वो मतलब अगर जीवन में आगे जाना चाहते हैं तो इन सारी चीजों का पालन तो करना ही पड़ेगा। और जो सबसे अंतिम बात और सबसे अच्छी बात आपने कही कि एक अच्छा इंसान बनना बहुत जरूरी है, तभी आप करियर तो उसके बाद ही आएगा, पहले एक अच्छा मनुष्य बनना जरूरी है। इसी आपके अंतिम मंत्र के साथ हम इस कार्यक्रम की समाप्ति करते हैं। धन्यवाद
जी, बहुत धन्यवाद आपका।
The first impression that comes to our mind about any college: tall buildings, big classrooms, large lobby areas, thick books, IT labs, assignments, class tests, and projects. Nothing besides that. Every hour, minute, second spent here help us carving and shaping our persona, cultivating innovative mindsets for the challenging world. Learning is a lifelong process. Sharing knowledge, inculcating values of life, spark the innovative horizons of mind. Fun and frolic is the nature of every nook and corner here. A daily dose of thrill we are sure to get here.